Another week, another episode. The world of AI does not stop. With me is Varun Maya. Varun, how's it going? Are you a robot yet?
I'm not a robot yet, but I wish I could be. I've been sick this week and the last week, so I wish I could just. My wife keeps saying this, right? She's like, "When can we become GPT?"
What is GPT's version of being sick?
I think somebody prompt hacking it and making it say stupid stuff. I guess.
That's the version. Hey, listen, I've been talking to a bunch of people and I've been seeing some chatter online about GPT being not as good recently as it was when it began.
Lobotomization.
What does that mean?
So I'll tell you. Okay, GPT has two parts. Obviously, there's you train the model. But the second part is something called RLHF, which is reinforcement learning by human feedback. It's almost like this, right? You ask GPT a question, and recently, I think RLHF and its impacts were also shown on Llama 2, right? Where you ask it a question, it'll give you some answer, and then you have a human reviewer say this is a good answer or this is a bad answer. And a lot of the benefits of GPT come from RLHF. But if you over RLHF in a way, right? Like if you are constraining the responses too much and you're saying, hey, don't say this, don't say this. If you're constantly muting it, it has effects across the entire set of responses, right? Not just the responses you are clamping down. So I think we saw this with Llama where even the most basic of things, Llama 2 would be like, sorry, I can't do that, right? And I think we're starting to see that with GPT as well. But this is an unfounded rumor. Like we don't know what's going on, right? Like the people are just benchmarking by themselves and they're saying, yeah, subjectively, I feel like something is wrong. In my own experience, I have, at least for the things that I use, I don't ask it to make a bomb every day or kill a child every day.
What do you mean kill a child every day? Like it's every other weekend for you? What the fuck did you
I'm
just say?
I'm saying a lot of people who are prompt hacking this thing or using GPT are trying to trick it into, they're trying to frame it, right? It's like, it's almost like they're trying to take a picture of it doing silly stuff, but they're also prompting it to do very silly stuff. Because I don't use it for that. I use it mostly to generate scripts or if I want to learn about something. I think in my use cases, it's been great, right? In fact, we've been finding GPT 3.5 to be maybe like subjectively better, but we don't have objective evidence of it, so we won't make that claim.
Sorry, what does RLHF stand for again?
Reinforcement learning by human feedback.
Got it. So the human intervener is telling it, hey, this is a good answer, this is a bad answer, don't say this, say this.
Yes.
And based on that, it is learning how to be, and that's what's making people feel like, okay, it's not as responsive as it used to be.
Like RLHF is the equivalent in humans is parenting.
And so it's responding exactly like humans, which is becoming not as good.
Right now, what's happening is helicopter parenting or over parenting, right? A lot of parents do that to their young kids. They try to control everything that the young kid thinks and says.
GPT is also suffering from log kya kahenge, dude. Like even AI is having the same problem as humans. Log kya kahenge, ye mat bol, log kya kahenge.
But now people have made versions of Llama 2 that you can ask it how to make bomb and it will tell you how to make bomb.
Excellent. On that note, welcome to the new episode. All right, what do we have first in this week? Someone made an open source, locally running implementation of GPT's code interpreter. Let's look at this. Can you set my system to dark mode?
Oh, nice.
Oh. Okay, got it. It can run code on the computer.
This is a little bit dangerous, I'll tell you why. With autocode, I remember it can download any package from the internet, right? So it can easily pick up malware as well.
Hang on, it can work on the document. Acha, got it, okay.
Very interesting. It's a very cool video. So a lot of people have used Code Interpreter online. and we've used it for a little bit of amateur data science. Now we have a version offline, right? And I wouldn't say offline because it's still using the GPT-4 key, but it's running locally.
Tell me something. What does it mean by running it locally?
What's happening is the entire code for the code interpreter part is running locally. On ChatGPT, both parts are online. So you can also swap out with Open Interpreter. You can remove GPT-4 and you can add in Code Llama, which are both like then your code interpreter, like the local code interpreter, it's called Open Interpreter, and your AI model, which is Code Llama, are both running locally. So the idea is to eventually be rid of OpenAI and their monopoly.
Got it. So we can use code interpreter with your own LLM also.
Yes.
So if you have your own data, you can use...
If you have your own local LLM, you can use it, yeah.
Okay, got it.
I read the benchmarks. I'm off Twitter, so I'm a little bit slower on the loop these days. But I read the benchmarks and it isn't that much of a jump over Llama 2.
Apparently, it's between GPT 3.5 and 4.
So we are an Open Interpreter right now. So the question I have, like a general question I have is, rate the top 10 hip-hop artists by records sold. Give me insights. Data will be cut off by
September 2021.
Good. So it's doing a scrape and then it's analyzing the data. Okay. So it's using Python with beautiful soup and request libraries to scrape the data. So like I said, even in the code interpreter that we have on ChatGPT, it knows which Python repository to use where. It knows which Python package to use where. So as you can see, it's using beautiful soup first. I have to keep saying yes to run the code. Like there'll be a block in code interpreter on the ChatGPT version of code interpreter where things are happening behind the scenes. If you expand it, it'll use the same thing. It's using beautiful soup behind the scenes, etc., etc. So we've done this in the past. Like I wanted to once send out a large blast of Reddit DMs long time ago, 5-6 years ago, where we'd write the Python script ourselves. And now you can just ask.
This is like Auto GPT, but for not code stuff also.
Yeah.
Auto GPT is just for code. This is for non-code stuff.
No, this is still running code behind the scenes, and we can use it. I mean, that's why it's called code interpreter and not, data analytics.
Okay, got it. So this will just continue to do this.
It's finally going to Kaggle.
But this feels, at least this query that you've put in feels like this is just easier to do on ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Instead of doing this on a locally.
Yeah, but it's sort of, what can I say? It's subject to the same problems that Auto GPT is subject to, which is going down a tangent. If it doesn't find, for example, the Kaggle API key, it should be asking me, right? It's not asking me, right? So it's Kaggle API is not installed. We need to install it. Now they're installing the Kaggle API. Yeah, let me just kill this. It's looking for the Kaggle data set. I need to put in the API key. It has parts of small also on this, by the way. Let's actually try that. Okay. Change my computer to dark mode. Nice. To change your computer to dark mode, we need to modify the Windows registry. Okay. Set the current theme mode in the Windows registry. So it's going to run a registry command. It's already dark mode. If you want to switch to light mode, yes, switch me to light. Okay. Let's run this. Okay. It says it's switched to light mode. Is now set to light mode.
Sure. Is it set to light mode?
I don't think Windows will allow random programs like this to edit the registry. I'm just killing this. It's gone into a loop. But at some point, Apple / Windows / Microsoft will all have this available locally. Make an Excel sheet with the names of 10 people from history. 10 famous people from history. Okay. It's going to use the pandas library in Python to create a data frame from the list, and then they'll use pandas to write this data frame to an Excel file. Okay. First is installing pandas and OpenPyXL. Now it's installed the libraries. Now let's create a list of famous people. It's coming up with the list. Putting all these people in data frame. Is writing it to an Excel file. Let's run this code. Okay, it's created a new file called famouspeople.excel. Let's find out. Hey, simple Excel sheet has been created.
So, if I use GPT, I can just generate this list, but if you have it running locally, it can interact with your computer or laptop and actually generate files for you.
Yeah, it can generate files. It can edit the registry, so you can do dark mode to light mode. But the problem with dark mode to light mode is I'm very sure Windows will block external programs from doing this. It's going to block VS Code from doing this. We might have to do it in the terminal. And I think ultimately everything you do on your computer can be manipulated by a code interpreter, but you need to know what you're doing because it's I don't know how it's choosing what Python packages to use. It seems to be using the most popular ones, right? Like pandas and it's using PyXL.
So the core idea is to talk to your computer in natural language and ask it to do stuff, which is, generate this file, generate this file. And imagine if your computer has a large language model plugged in at the back end, you can ask it to pull stuff from the internet as well and create stuff out of it. I just want this to be in a simple chat interface. Like how much I want to be able to do this on Windows, but it's
very easy. It's very easy to do this on Windows. Like someone could just make a program right now. It's just like a quick app that's on your taskbar or something where you can just be like, okay, I want this done. I'm damn sure that Microsoft's going to do this in Windows. Apple's going to do this for the Mac OS. It is going to be natively part of the OSs. I think in the next update or the update after that, we are going to see one of these happen at some point.
And just have a voice command feature where I should be able to talk. Like I want to press a button. Like on Mac, I just want to press that button. And basically this is like Siri, but like hyper powered, or Cortana, but hyper powered. That's what this is.
Yeah, and the cool part is you can also generate quick scripts and write code and stuff, right? For example, make me a simple app to generate a joke every time I open it. Okay, this is the same thing we did with Small, if you remember Small, right? It's using Flask to make a simple web application. It's using some joke API to fetch a random joke. And it'll ask me for the joke API.
Yeah, but I don't want to listen to what all you're doing. I just want to say it and just do it.
Yeah, it's doing, what I'm saying is it's doing all of these things. It's going to abstract these things behind the scenes. This entire thing that you saw here, this pip install Flask and stuff, end user doesn't need to see.
Correct.
They are only going to see this. It's just going to be like, hey, great, the necessary libraries are installed. We're going ahead with the next step.
Yeah, you're right though. I think the next iteration of Windows or Mac should just be able to have this.
Like this is going to be part of Windows and Mac, the Mac OS. I think you'll have the command space on Mac where you can just search for anything. Yeah. Now it'll probably allow you to just ask the AI anything. Like a lot of times when I want to change something in my phone or figure out where to update and stuff, I go to Google and I'm like, well, how do I change this setting? Now, instead of asking Google, you can just ask the Apple settings page and it'll just do it for you.
Yeah, every laptop is basically a Jarvis. Every phone will become a Jarvis now.
And eventually it'll just be voice. Like there'll be one special key. They'll call it, I know how the brands are going to market this. There'll be one special key. You press the key and it's your AI assistant. And when you press the key, you can ask it for anything and the computer will do it. And that'll be like a big selling point for a few months until everyone has it.
Correct. Agreed. Next story.
Let's go to HyperWrite AI. So this is HyperWrite. Which seems to be, at first glance, it seems to be like an AI agent that can operate a browser like a human. So let's see if it can do that. Write a script on a video about Paris. So it's using my browser. Okay, this is really cool.
Oh.
Go to Google to gather information about Paris. It's search for Paris. Okay, type Paris into the search bar and click submit on the search. Okay. This is like really cool. Click on the Wikipedia page.
It's doing it automatically. Like this is inside the program. You're not doing anything.
My hands are off. Go to Wikipedia link. Click on more information about Paris. It's almost like one of those automated testing kits. Like Selenium can do this, right? And there are other testing kits that can do this, which will click on links, specific keywords that it needs to click on. It'll figure it out. Here is just figuring out which link to click by itself. So now it's going back to HyperWrite to write about Paris. Let me just move this down. This is lovely. I love this. This is really, really, really cool.
It's typing the script.
Yeah, he's given me a script about Paris. This was actually beautiful. The task went perfectly. Now let's try something more complicated, okay? Let's start a new task. Let's say post tweet about guns. I have no idea how this is going to do, but let's see.
I have no idea why you said guns, but okay.
Let's see. This is AI inside AI. Even Google's like, hey, do you want to use our Gen AI powered overview for this search? It's gone to Twitter. Sagar's account is logged in. It's now clicking on the link on the clicking on the link on to the Twitter homepage, typing guns are not toys, respect others and themselves. And it is going to tweet that.
Bro,
Dude,
it's gone from Sagar's account. What the fuck?
this is really, really, really cool. This is really cool. I didn't do anything.
Can you send emails? Check.
Yeah.
Just say send an email to Varun. Send an email to Varun Maya, telling him HyperWrite AI is a scary tool.
Is a scary tool. Okay. Hands are off. It's like in the last couple of AI videos, I've just kept my hands behind my head and I just let it do the thing. Navigate to Gmail and compose and send the email. Okay. Yeah. Click on compose. Okay, it's clicked on compose. Okay, now it's going to find Varun Maya. Let's see if it can do that. Oh my God, that's really cool. Select the first email address for Varun Maya. Dude, this is super cool. This is like super duper cool.
HyperWrite AI is a subject. Okay, it just wrote HyperWrite AI is a scary tool, full stop. And it sent the email.
Let's see if I got the email.
Yeah, I'm sure you got the
Yeah,
email.
I got it. I love this tool.
Yeah, this is an interesting tool.
It's working so flawlessly and well. Like, it's so good. This is really, really, really good.
Now tell me something. Why can't the open interpreter that we saw, why can't it do stuff like this?
It can. That's the thing, right? Like, eventually, you're not going to want to use an open interpreter. You're going to want this. Like this, I think all the tasks that it does are inside the browser. Inside the browser, like let's say there's a button, okay? The button will have specific CSS. To find that CSS, a lot of testing kits have, like, if you want to do browser testing for your own apps, when you build out an app, right? Like a web app. A lot of these kits have already figured out the hard work of figuring out what button to click. These people are basically a layer on top of one of those testing kits, right? Or they built their own. That's what they're doing. It's like, it's very browser focused. It's a great personal assistant. I love it. Like, I really love it. Okay, this is weird. Okay, let's try this. Go to amazon.in, search for Mama Earth, then scroll just once and put all the product names and prices in there into an into a Google Sheet. But I find this tool very, very impressive. Like, this will improve obviously over time. So it's gone to amazon.in, type Mama Earth in, submitted the search for Mama Earth, scroll down to see more products. Please provide the Google Sheets URL where you want to store the product names. Wow, it's asking me for an action. Let's see where the product names are. I'm just going to give it the sheet. Going to the provided sheet. As long as you're logged in, it'll be fine.
Right. It can't input into the sheet.
It can input into the sheet. The only thing is it's not inputting this into the sheet. Dude, so this is like pretty close. Like I think for scraping tasks, it'll take a few months of iterative improvement. But so far it's pretty decent. At least I think what they've done is they've covered use cases by use cases. Scraping is not a use case.
So it can do these 4 things, but I think beyond that,
It chokes a little bit.
It kind of breaks.
I feel like they're just going to cover use case by use case by use case. Like scraping is a very big use case, especially for people who are in the space of, I need to make a report or I need to create data sheets for somebody else. This might be very valuable in the future.
Yeah, and I think this summarizes a lot of the AI tool space right now, which is that there is a glimmer of possibility and there's limited use cases. But that one breakthrough, I think since GPT, there hasn't been that one powerful product that just breaks through. And also, I understand that that breakthrough could be scary also, no? Like an all-powerful agent that can actually function like a human and have enough context setting ability to do it. That can also be scary.
But if you look at it, right, if you look at the, when it runs through its rationale is correct. Scroll through the pages, get some more stuff, give me a Google Sheet link, I'll put it all in the Google Sheet link. The rationale is correct, the execution is poor, right? What I mean by that is, I think a lot of these tools are not conducive, like a Google Sheets might not be conducive or an Amazon might not be okay with scraping. So I feel like eventually either the AI is going to find a way around it, right? Or the testing kit or the testing framework it's sitting on top of is going to be a superior testing solution. I think that this should be a solvable problem, right? I can see how it can be solved today. Somebody used to, or maybe there might be unique tools, like there'll be a specific AI tool just for scraping. There'll be a specific AI tool just for summarization. Which is what most people are going around. They're saying we'll make specialist tool. But I think the end goal, I can see the end goal being a one solution, like a HyperWrite doing everything for us.
All right, this was cool. Let's move on.
So Invideo launched a new AI video tool. Now Invideo solves AI video very differently from how a runway solves AI video. So let me search for this, okay? Make a YouTube video about an astronaut who dislikes fizzy drinks. Is
it GPT powered at the back end, at least for like figuring out the title?
Yeah, I think it uses GPT to figure out the title, figure out the sequences, and then it's probably using stock footage. It's using a Pexels or a stock video or iStock or something to pick out the right clips and put them together. GPT can do this well, by the way. If you go to GPT and you say, give me a 2-minute video of, I don't know, a man drinking coffee, and give me in each frame what image/clip should I show, it will actually give you like a sort of like a guideline saying that, okay, in first second to third second, play this clip, third second to fifth second, play this clip. And you can just run those as search queries on iStock, Photo, or one of the stock platforms, right? It's not like Runway where it's text to video. It's almost like text to script to pick up stock footage, put it together.
It's almost Canva-esque, na? It's not like Midjourney, but more Canva-esque.
Yeah, it's more like Canva. I think that the combination of a Runway plus Invideo is the eventual future, right? Where instead of you depending on a third-party stock footage generator to generate stock footage for you, I think eventually you'll build out a solution that's just text to video, right? And you'll have them stitched together, because right now the big limitation of text to video is like it's a few seconds. So let's watch this.
Have you ever wondered what astronauts crave when they're thousands of miles above Earth? It's not the stargazing or the zero gravity. It's not even the silence of space. It's the simple earthly pleasure of their favorite foods. Yet surprisingly, not all foods are universally adored. Take, for instance, our astronaut protagonist, who has a peculiar aversion towards fizzy drinks. Imagine the scene: a rocket blasting off, leaving a trail of smoke and fire piercing through the atmosphere. Amidst the roar of engines and the rush of adrenaline sits our astronaut, strapped in his seat, ready for the journey of a lifetime. He's leaving behind not just his home, but also his favorite foods. Yet one thing he doesn't miss is the fizzy drinks. The astronaut's journey is one of wonder and exploration, a tale of human determination and resilience. He navigates around asteroids, observes distant galaxies, and even catches sight of the occasional shooting star. But when it comes to mealtimes, he's a little less adventurous. Fizzy drinks are off the table, or rather off the spaceship. Why this fizzy aversion, you ask? It's not a matter of taste, but rather a matter of comfort. You see, in zero gravity, carbonated beverages don't behave quite as they do on Earth. The gas and liquid don't separate, leading to a rather unpleasant drinking experience. Our astronaut, well versed in the quirks of space life, opts for still beverages instead. Summing up, our astronaut's story serves as a reminder of the oddities of life in space. It's not just about floating around and looking at stars. It's also about adapting to a whole new way of living, which in this case means saying no to fizzy drinks. So the next time you pop open a can of your favorite soda, take a moment to think about our astronaut, floating around in space, sipping on his still drink. It's a small detail, but it's these details that make the vast expanse of space a little more relatable, a little more human.
What do you think?
Dude, this is fucking mind-blowing. This is so good. It found all these stock footages from some third-party play and it synthesized together. It wrote a script and even the narration of the script seemed so human-like. Text to audio seemed so human-like.
Yeah. The next step is now even the stock footages that are being generated. Imagine if you're able to do it with text to video.
Holy fuck. Can we make one more? Can we make one like can we make a YouTube video about how to succeed on YouTube?
On how to succeed on YouTube. Like for 99% of media that just like strings footage, stock footage together, now it's completely automated. The voiceovers, the...
What we didn't check, was there a way to edit the script in any way? Edit the script, edit stuff here?
Possibly. I mean, I can see how it should be a pretty easy middle step. This is what I keep saying about AI, right? Like people who synthesize the tools that exist very, very well will eventually end up building out good tools. Because at the end of the user wants a solution, right? User doesn't care about how fancy the tech behind the scenes is. It needs to come together the same way he would put something together.
Dude, this is so good.
What are the immediate use cases in your head? What would you use this for?
If you're able to edit the script, okay. For example, if I'm able to feed it a script saying, hey, this is the script, find a bunch of stock footage, give me a voiceover and then generate it. That would be super powerful because this finds appropriate stock footage, edits them together, finds a music layer, does the voiceover. All I need to do is feed it the script, which again, one person can do the job of like 10 people and use GPT to generate a bunch of scripts.
I think the value now of generating stock footage has become even higher. Either somebody solves it with text to video, like the Mortal Kombat video we saw, but that's still not there yet. Or somebody can just go around and shoot a lot of stuff and just say, hey, I have a lot of like base footage for you to put together and build out a good video.
No, but this is elegant, right? We already have third-party stock footage websites.
Yeah, and not just that, right? Like I think even the presenter part with what HeyGen is doing, even the presenter part can sort of get solved. If there's a person on screen saying, hey, this is what happened in life, blah, 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 and you have certain shots of him talking to the camera, him or her talking to the camera, and then you have certain stock footage and then back to the person. Tanmay, on a side note, right? I think stuff like this allows you to make a lot of faceless channels on YouTube.
Correct.
And I know a lot of people have been excited about faceless channels. I'm not a big fan, but what do you think?
There's like one thread every week on Twitter about how you can make money through faceless channels. I mean, eventually, if a lot of people make
everyone's
faceless
doing
channels,
it, it's pointless.
What's the point?
Yeah, Okus once told me something very interesting about YouTube. He's like, everything you wanted to see on YouTube over the last decade has already been out on YouTube. So you have to do something that's fundamentally different. And you can't just say somebody else succeeded at doing this, so you can control C, control V it, because maybe there's space for like 3-4 big players in a space. But if 1,000 people do it, then it becomes worthless.
If cost of content creation is going to zero, then
you need to have a differentiator.
Yeah. Quality is a benchmark that changes with competition. It's not an objective number. It's a subjective number based on competition. In content, at least.
So you're saying that the barrier for entry is getting lower because of tools like this, but the bar for quality content is going higher.
Will go higher, naturally. Because what is refreshing is actually a product of what is the norm. Like a joke I used to make 10 years ago saying, oh, any Punjabis in the house? Oh, you guys love drinking. That's not funny anymore. But it was funny the first 5 times I said it because back in the day it was fresh because nobody else was saying it. But now that's harder because it's been said so many times that it's not fresh anymore. Similarly, if you, because of more content, what surprises you keeps going down. So it's harder to surprise you and be refreshing because you're just hit. It's the same thing as attention span. No, it's just harder to hold someone's attention now because there's just so much shit available to take your attention. It's the same funda. So if content creation goes to zero, quality bar will have to be that much higher, which means you can't just hack your way into making content.
Like this is why, like even on the AV side, right? Like the editing, if you've seen the last couple of videos, has just gone up so many notches, right? Mainly because it's like, hey, there is competition. Constantly try to differentiate from the competition. One cool thing I feel about AI is everything is almost there.
It's almost
All the
there,
pieces
but
are all
not
there.
Quite. But yeah, it just needs some.
The glimpses are there.
Glimpses are there. It needs some breakthrough products beyond just GPT. I mean, GPT and Midjourney to a degree.
But I see how this will be part of OSs like Microsoft and Microsoft Windows. It's an obvious opportunity for them to just plug AI everywhere. All right, let's go. Let's watch this.
Want to master YouTube? Crave to see your channel rise to the top? Today, we're going to delve into the art of YouTube mastery. Whether you're a seasoned creator or just dipping your toes into the world of digital content, this guide will unveil the secrets to skyrocketing your YouTube success. Step 1. Know your audience. The key to any successful YouTube channel is understanding who watches your videos. What are their interests, their ages, their locations? Knowing your audience allows you to tailor your content to their tastes, ensuring they keep coming back for more. Step 2. Consistency is king. Regularly uploading content creates a rhythm that your viewers come to expect. Consistency not only helps to retain your existing audience but also attracts new viewers. Remember, it's not just about quantity but also quality. High-quality content uploaded consistently is a surefire way to YouTube success. Step 3. Optimization. From video titles to descriptions, tags to thumbnails, optimizing your content is crucial. Use relevant keywords in your titles and descriptions, create eye-catching thumbnails, and don't forget to tag your videos.
Got it. So now the flaws are kind of obvious, right? Which is, okay, limitation of stock footage means that the quality of the video will be lower. I would love it if the video that's being made, it gives me like a premiere, it gives me like an edited version on like a timeline, so I can be like, okay, this stuff is not good, this stuff is not good, this stuff is not good, let me fix this. I want to fix the voiceover, I want to fix the text,
I want to
fix all
change the
this.
stock footage here.
Yeah. And outside of the stock footage, it also generated some footage, like the placards that came in with the YouTube logo on it. I assume at the back end it did, okay, I have the basic of the placard coming in. I just put in the YouTube logo. I wish it could do, like there could be some advancement in generating these kind of flowcharty type of visuals that I think can get better. But it's an interesting start for sure. Like the astronaut one was way better because there was just a lot more variety in the stock footage.
And I think the astronaut one told a story.
Correct.
Like I think humans eventually are suckers for stories, right? Like
Yeah.
the visuals are secondary to what the story is telling you.
There's actually one interesting channel idea that I have, and I don't know if we should do it, but maybe someone should do it, is to create a channel of just AI generated videos and just experimenting every day with, hey, this video was generated by AI, and the description should have, hey, these are the tools that I use, this is what I did, this is what I made at the back end, this is what I connected here and there. The description should have all of that, and the video is the final output. Just a tutorial channel on, except you don't have to explain it, everything can be in description, just show me the end product on this. I think that is a channel waiting to happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't build a channel like that. I think the entire goal of channels now has become about trust. Like today you can go out on the street and buy like headphones or earphones for like 300 rupees, right? But there's a reason people still go to a boat or people still go to like a well-known brand, right? Like I think anyone can build a channel, anyone can get, like now with shorts, like some random videos can get views, right? But I think building a brand is the key piece, right? And that there's a reason that people still go to celebrities and have them appear on TV, even though the celebrities' reach is not being used on TV, right? Like it's more the celebrity's brand. I think we have become more attuned, more sensitive to the idea of a brand now that everyone can create junk. Okay, let's move on. There's a tool called Move AI, and it's pretty cool. Let's watch a video on it. So if you want to do 3D footage and you want the motion capture extracted from it, I'll tell you how I was planning to do it 2 years ago, right? The manual way is to go to a website called Mixamo. Yeah, so you have these 3D animated characters, you have their animations, you can plug their animation into any skeleton you want, right? The step beyond this is to use a suit. So Rococo, there's a company called Rococo that has a very cheap suit. $2,000 is fairly cheap in the mocap world, right? Motion capture world. So this is the Rococo suit. You can see it here. But again, wearing a suit is like painful, it's annoying, it's, it feels cumbersome. But then there was another company called Deep Motion that came right after Rococo, where they said that, you know what, just send us camera footage of what you're doing and we'll create the entire, animation for you. We'll rig each bone, we'll know where each bone is moving, including your fingers, and we'll create that animation for you. But then recently, something called Move.ai came out, which I used day before yesterday, where you can have any cool thing and it uses AI to figure out, perfect animations. This is like really cool. And you can transfer it to any 3D character you want.
This is a bit like Wonder Dynamics, right?
It's a bit like Wonder Dynamics, except it's just giving you the skeleton. Now, as I was exploring this, I saw the big daddy of this, which is that, the cool thing about this is you can do it with your iPhone, right? But there was a tool I saw called Simulon. Wonder Dynamics is still a tool. You need to, use it. You need to take existing footage, remove the character, put your own character in. But Simulon, you can do all of this inside your iPhone itself, and it matches lighting automatically. Check this out.
Real time.
Yeah. It's sort of like my biggest issue with AR and AR cameras, where that the lighting never matches. It always looks like it's a strange object in the scene where it just doesn't seem to be part of the scene. But look at this. This looks pretty realistic. Right? And I'll show you some more. Check this out. Or check this out. 1 second.
Oh, this is footage from the camera.
Direct from the camera. They have their own camera, I assume. And the lighting solves, everything is matched automatically. Like, take a look at this, dude. This is so good.
I saw this, very good.
Like the lighting. It's got, that thing looks like it's part of the scene. You know what's one of my favorite CGI scenes, or CGI movies? Have you seen a movie called District 9? I thought the CGI of the aliens in that movie was
really good.
And it's an old movie, relatively old movie. I think this technology is amazing because it's able to do the real-time animation and stuff. You don't need to do mocap. It's at least on Wonder Dynamics, I've seen the facial expressions also done right. The lighting looks much better than Wonder Dynamics. The shadows are in the right place. So I think this is really, really cool. This, though, is going to lead to some jobs being lost because it's like the manual, being good at doing manual CGI is a very high value skill, right? Marvel spends so much money on it. But the minute you say we have technology like this, a lot of those scenes can just be done from inside the camera. Do you know what Adipurush's budget was?
55 rupees based on the VFX that I saw.
It's 700 crores, right? So that's 700 crores that's going to someone to make, where the significant chunk of the budget is to make CGI. And the CGI was terrible because it's a binary, it's almost like a, you need to be above a skill level for it to be good. Right? And below that skill level, it starts looking cringe. So this automatically puts you above that level. And it's just like the alternative to get somebody of that high skill level costs so many crores that you might as well default to this, right? If you have budget constraints. So it's like that 700 crores worth of jobs, maybe 100, 200 crores going into actors, production, etc., etc. But CGI is it's a big field to disrupt. And I didn't expect it to come this quick. This was better than the Wonder Dynamics stuff that we did, 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, it's already better.
Yeah, let's just talk about consistent characters in Midjourney. So now you can make consistent characters in Midjourney. This will be very useful, in my opinion, for comic books. You can take up to 10 shots of the same character from multiple angles in a single generation. Okay? So the method is, she found that image split into two to a prompt would create 2 different images of the same person. If you do image split into two, shot from different angles.
/ imagine.
Pretty Asian woman eating ice cream. Image split into two from different angles. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, basically that's what it is.
Split images into 6 different images, shot from multiple angles.
Got it. And then how do you separate them?
No, they will come as 4 separate images. Like these two, for example. In the same shot, you will get 2 splits. The third one failed. So if you look at this, these two are the same woman.
It is the
Look
same
at
woman, yeah.
Even this
in different
is the same
clothes.
woman. So if we do, let's say, imagine a Dalmatian chasing a ball. Image split
Into five
from
different angles.
Very interesting, dude, how people are able to just, the people who are just full-time figuring out how to do fun stuff with AI.
Oh, the second image looks very interesting.
Let's see if the spots match. That's why I chose the Dalmatian. So if you look at this one, this looks like the same dog. It's got the same choke chain. Yeah, it's got the same choke collar. The spots are roughly in the same area. Like there's a right cheek spot. There's a right cheek spot here as well. This one looks different.
This one looks different, yeah.
But this one kind of looks the same, I guess.
Second image is nice. I think this would be most useful to generate like comic books. So let's try a comic book prompt. Let's make an anime robot eating ice cream. Image split into 5 different angles.
Angles, dash niji. Dash style, cute. Pretty cool, no? Like if you look at this thing, it looks like the same character in multiple different positions.
Yeah, let it generate. Okay, let's see.
See, it's the same character in multiple different positions. This is very good. This is also very good. Same character. You can see that the angle of this diamond thing is the same across these two. See the angle of the diamond thing and where these spokes are pretty much perfect.
Yeah, but I just want Midjourney to be able to put this as a feature. Like if I'm able to input a picture and say, hey, change the angle on this, that I think is the next step. Instead of generating one image, then I have to upscale this, crop it out, use it as separate frames.
There's something I saw recently. It's called style drop, I think. So style drop allows you to put in a certain style. I don't know if this will work for consistent characters, but you can put in a style.
Correct.
And it does it reasonably well.
Correct.
I'm sure this can be adapted for characters.
Anyway, to quote Saint Maya, 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah, but I don't know. I thought the HyperWrite thing was really cool.
HyperWrite was very cool. It just needs a lot more. Broadly, I think there is incremental progress on every tool. But yeah, there's still a long way to go. Nothing seems like you need absolutely zero human intervention to go from A to the final output. But yeah, it's getting better.
Interesting.
All right, another episode of Overpowered. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 500,000 subscribers on YouTube as soon as possible. And if you're watching us on Instagram, follow us. We want to reach 1 million ASAP. On that note, see you guys.
Bye.